need to figure out which end. Steve, help! I'm trapped! He's not gonna hear that. He's never gonna hear that. Steve! Steve!
Scott?
Yeah!
What the hell happened?
Well, I was organizing the chords and then they got twisted.
Have you been here all day?
Yeah, I'm starving!
Jeez.
I mean, most of the day, like not all the...
How did you...
Not a big deal.
How'd you get tangled up this bad?
I started turning around and then I was trying to put the... I didn't know it was plugged in and then I turned around too many times and now...
How'd you get this thing hooked up? That doesn't...
Oh, that's why! That's why I got tangled. I can't be expected to use these long cords and not get tangled.
They were all wrapped in a perfect, neat circle, every single one of them, before I left.
Well, circle is my least favorite shape.
How'd you get the mic stand in here?
Thanks for your help. I'm sorry I blamed you, though.
Yeah, it's clearly your fault instead of mine.
Well, it's partly your fault, too. Thanks for saving me, though, because that was scary. I thought I was going to die there. And I thought I was going to starve to death.
You would have.
I almost did. I felt
Patch cords are not...
so hungry. Did you bring food?
They're not toys. You can't play with these things.
No kidding. Died right now.
Oh, this is what happens with us having never been roadies.
So how was that funeral anyway?
Really good, except the van broke down on the highway. I had to leave it in Yakima. I took a taxi the whole way home.
Really?
What's that smell?
How did you afford a taxi all the way from Yakima?
Terry.
Are you poor?
I think I'm gonna have to give him that Wolverine comic with the Hulk in it. Man, Julian's gonna be pissed at me again. What is that smell?
You know, when I was wrapped up earlier today, I had a lot of time to think, and I was thinking, if we were using wireless transmitters, that wouldn't have been a problem. I wouldn't have got all wrapped up like that. So maybe we should think about using wireless transmitters from now on, Steve. What do you think?
Oh, I get it. Scott!
Not getting wrapped up is a good thing.
You set up this elaborate charade just to try to convince me to switch to all wireless gear? You're not gonna change my mind.
Well, we could at least try them. We could try the wireless transmitters and see if they're good, because they might be better than trying to deal with all the cords and everything.
But it doesn't sound the same. We've talked about this a bunch of times. And there's delay.
Wow.
A bunch of delay.
I mean, I like delay. I actually use a special pedal, effects pedal, for delay, to add delay. So why are we spending money on effects pedals when we can have free delay?
That's not the same type of delay.
It's still delay, though. It's real delay. It's analog delay.
Yeah, but if you want that type of delay, you could just use a whole bunch of patch cords hooked together, which we already have.
Real world delay.
You're gonna need a way better excuse than that to convince me.
Well, look at today, for example. If we didn't have a bunch of these cords, I wouldn't have got all tangled up and wasted all my time. That's like 6 hours of time that I would have been spending better spent on making music and recording music and maybe writing music as well and mixing music.
So we have to pay money to save time? What kind of economics is that?
It's your pick, Steve. Chords or me?
You're giving me an ultimatum? So if I choose the chords over you, you would just ditch the band?
Okay, fine. I'll stick around no matter what. But I'm saying, though, that was a waste of time for me. Don't you think?
You got yourself all tangled up. Kurt knows how. That's not my fault. You and Floyd are the only two people out of our entire music scene I've ever heard of getting yourselves tangled up that way.
Don't compare me to Floyd, okay? Floyd gave up guitar when we were kids.
Does it stink in here, or is it just me?
I didn't give up, and look at me now. Top of the world.
The door was open when I got here. Had it been open since I left?
Yeah, I was trying to get the cat out.
Cat?
Yeah, the cat.
What cat?
Well, I was bringing in the Roland, and I left the door open, and then the cat came in right behind me, and I couldn't just like kick the door closed on the cat. So I had to wait a second. I put the rolling down, and then the cat was inside. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just leave the door open, hoping the cat would leave. That's normal. That's what any normal person would do.
Well, that's what the smell is. It peed in here, didn't it?
Well, I don't know.
It definitely pissed in here. I can smell it.
Statistically, yeah. You probably did pee in here. Okay? It's not my fault, though. That's the cat's fault. I didn't pee in here. The cat did. And I didn't want the cat to come in. I was carrying an amp. What? I mean, Steve, what do you want from me, okay? I'm just a guy. I'm just a man.
Well, where did it do it?
I didn't see where he went, okay? I was tangled up. Don't you remember?
Is the cat still in here?
Yes. No big deal.
Smells like a foot, not piss.
Cats pee all the time. Let it go.
Well, you're the cat expert. How do we find them?
Well, you know, could be anywhere. Could be right here. It probably is right here. But we would never know.
Great. So there may or may not be a cat in here, but there's definitely cat pee. How long does the smell of cat pee last?
Well, quite a while. Unless you do what I do. All you gotta do is put some kitty litter there, you know, leave it for a while. Like if it's on the couch, you just put some kitty litter, leave it for a number of weeks, and then sweep it away, vacuum it up, good as new.
I gotta put sand on the couch?
Kitty litter, not sand.
What?
It works way better than sand. Sand wouldn't do anything.
You had to screw around with the cords.
Well, I didn't have to. I was making music, Steve. This is what we do when we make music. We use the equipment, okay? I ended up getting a little tangled up. It's not a big deal. It wouldn't have happened if that kid was still here. What's his name? Jackson?
Jackson.
Jackson.
And he's not allowed to work for us anymore.
Ever? I thought he was just grounded.
I talked to his mom the other day, and she's still really angry.
Really? Just because we brought him into kittens? Oh, man. His mom's a real tight ass.
Tell me about it. Lorenzo is pissed at us. She dumped him.
She broke up with him? Because of you?
Well, because of you too.
I'm glad I'm not you right now.
I thought single moms like that kind of thing.
Am I you?
Like, you know, you treat her kid like he's more mature than he actually is. You're giving him more responsibility.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Steve.
It's a sign of respect.
You wouldn't know. You don't know ladies like I do, Steve. They think with their feelings. They don't. They feel what they're thinking, and they think with their feelings. It's totally backwards to men like us, real men.
If the younger generation doesn't start going to the strip club, there's not going to be any men like us.
Maybe she doesn't even know that they don't serve booze in strip clubs in Washington.
Yeah, she knows.
And if she doesn't know that,
She said that wasn't the point.
and she's not from Washington, and she's not grunge.
And then I said, he's going to see a lot worse than that when he goes on tour with us. And then she said, he's not going on tour with us. Or even working with us ever again, for that matter. So, I don't know where that puts us.
Bummer. One
Let's
jam?
play Street Fighter. I mean Jam. Yeah.
Let's do it.
So how things go with that vocal coach?
Real good. 5 minutes in, he said, if you keep thrashing your voice like that, you're going to end up with permanent damage. And I was like, thrashing? That was just a warm-up.
Good. Awesome.
Noob.
That's the right attitude. I wish I was there.
Well, that's easy for you to say, Steve. You're not the one thrashing your voice.
Hey, what about this idea for a song? It's called Ode to Dave Grohl. And it's like a 9 or a 10-minute song. And it's in the style of one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. But like the way we would do it.
Why would we do something like that?
I've just always wanted to do like a
Why?
10-minute song that's basically like a story.
Is that grunge?
Well, yeah, if it comes from Seattle.
Our audience expects more out of us.
That's why I said it'll be 10 minutes long. What more do they need?
Yeah, nothing against George Thorogood. I mean, I love him thoroughly good.
Oh, nice.
We don't really sound like him, though.
We need a saxophone player.
Is George Thorogood still Alive?
Yeah. Not only that, but he still looks the same. And he's in his 70s.
He does?
Just like Hall & Oates.
But you were wrong about their breakup, though, Hall & Oates.
Well, it wasn't really wrong. I just made an inaccurate prediction.
They're not getting back together. They're pissed at each other. They hate each other.
It's definitely a sad time for rock duos everywhere.
Hall & Oates inspired you to get that Fiero.
Yeah, but it was kind of an irony purchase, I think. If I'm using that word properly.
And they inspired me to sing really good.
Nobody wants to live in a world where Hall & Oates aren't even freaking friends.
Music is the fountain of youth.
At least Hall & Oates outlasted those Cars by like 30, 40 years. Even with their breakup.
Look at Keith Richards. He's like 90, 190? Nobody knows.
Yeah, no, they know. He's estimated to be between 82 and 87.
His face looks like fruit leather.
Well, yeah, but girls don't necessarily find that unattractive.
But he's going to live forever. You know why? He's got music in his heart. And music is the infinitely refreshing fountain of youth.
Yep.
And that's why rock stars never die of old age.
Ozzy didn't die of old age.
They always die of like heroin overdose or something like that.
I heard the coroner say he died from a lifetime of living.
Which is not old age.
Rock stars basically just get killed by death. Lemmy said it best.
Kill my death! Kill my death! Kill my death!